Let's start our class. Today we are discussing about life forces. Life forces भनेको चाहिँ जीवन प्रक्रियाहरू, कुनै पनि जीवलाई जीवित रहनको लागि गर्नुपर्ने प्रक्रियाहरू, तिनीहरूले गर्नुपर्ने प्रक्रियाहरूलाई नै हामीले के भनिन्छ जीवन प्रक्रिया भनेर भन्ने गरिन्छ। ल हेर्नुस्, there are some processes which occur only in living bodies. There are some processes which occur only in living bodies. These processes help a living being survive. They are called life forces. They are called life forces. अब यो डेफिनेसन मा तपाईलाई क्लियर भइसक्यो कि कुनै पनि जीवले जीवित रहनको लागि गर्नुपर्ने सबै क्रियाकलापलाई नै के भन्ने गरिन्छ, लाइफ फोर्सेस भनेर भन्ने गरिन्छ। जस्तै कुनै पनि जीवले जीवित रहनको लागि उसलाई के चाहिन्छ, खाना चाहिन्छ, न्यूट्रिसन। कुनै पनि जीव जीवित रहनको लागि उसले के गर्नुपर्छ, रेस्पिरेसन गर्नुपर्छ। रेस्पिरेसन भनेको श्वास प्रश्वास प्रक्रिया। रेस्पिरेसन प्रोसेसमा के हुन्छ, रेस्पिरेसन प्रोसेसमा उसले एनर्जी प्रोड्युस गर्छ। ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन भनेको उसले खाएको खानालाई के गर्नु पर्यो, सर्कुलेट गर्नु पर्यो, सबै पार्टहरुमा के गर्नु पर्यो, सर्कुलेट गर्नु पर्यो। उसले लिएको अक्सिजनलाई के गर्नु, सबै पार्टमा सर्कुलेट गर्नु पर्यो। इन केस अफ ह्युमन बिङ त्यहाँ के हुने, ब्लड सर्कुलेसन हुने भयो। इन केस अफ प्लान्टमा के हुने भयो, ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन हुने भयो। उसले एब्जर्ब गरेको वाटर मिनरल्सहरुलाई अप्पर पार्टमा लानु पर्यो, अनि लिफ्सले बनाएको खानाहरुलाई चाहिँ अरु पार्टहरुमा लग्नु पर्यो। त्यो प्रोसेसलाई हामीले के भन्ने गरिन्छ, ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन। त्यसै गरी रिप्रोडक्सन टु प्रोड्युस न्यू बोर्न, एक्सक्रिसन टु थ्रो आउट वेस्ट, मुभमेन्ट टु मुभ फ्रम वन प्लेस टु अनदर प्लेस। मुभमेन्ट मिन्स चेन्ज इन पोजिसन, स्थानान्तर हुनु, मुभमेन्ट स्थानमा परिवर्तन हुनु। अब जीवहरू जस्तै प्लान्ट होस् या चाहे त्यो जनावरहरू होस्, सबैले के गर्छ, मुभमेन्ट शो गर्छ। प्लान्टको केसमा मुभमेन्ट भनेको तिनीहरूको पार्टिकुलर पार्टको मात्रै के हुन्छ, मुभमेन्ट हुन्छ। यिनीहरूको केसमा ग्रोथलाई नै हामीले के गर्न मिल्छ, मुभमेन्ट भनेर लिन मिल्छ। जस्तै यिनीहरूको चाहिँ रुटहरूको मुभमेन्ट, लिफहरूको मुभमेन्ट, घामतिर मुभमेन्ट, लिफहरूको सनतिरको मुभमेन्टलाई हामीले के भन्न सकिन्छ, प्लान्टहरूको मुभमेन्ट कन्सिडर गर्न सकिन्छ। अब सेन्सिटिभिटी, सबै जीवहरूमा के हुन्छ, सेन्सिटिभिटी हुन्छ। सेन्सिटिभिटी भनेको कुनै पनि वातावरणमा भएको परिवर्तनमा के गर्नु, त्यसमा प्रतिक्रिया जनाउनुलाई हामीले के भनिन्छ, सेन्सिटिभिटी भनिन्छ। सिम्पल भाषामा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ फिल, ओके, दे क्यान फिल, महसुस गर्न सक्छन्। ओके, दे क्यान डिफरेन्सिएट व्हाट इज राइट फर देम, व्हाट इज रङ फर देम, द्याट इज सेन्सिटिभिटी। ग्रोथ, अब सबै जीवहरू के हुन्छन्, वृद्धि विकास हुन्छ। सबै जीवहरू के हुन्छ, वृद्धि विकास हुन्छ। यी सबै प्रोसेसले गर्दा के हुन्छ, कुनै पनि जीवको जीवन चलिरहेको हुन्छ। यदि यी मध्ये कुनै पनि प्रोसेसहरू राम्रोसित कुनै जीवले गर्न सकेन भने उसको जीवन राम्रोसँग चल्न सक्दैन, अथवा जीवन नै रहन सक्दैन। त्यही भएर यी सबै प्रोसेसले गर्दा नै के हुन्छ, कुनै पनि जीव जीवित रहेको हुन्छ। त्यही भएर यसलाई के भन्ने गरिन्छ, लाइफ प्रोसेस भनेर भन्ने गरिन्छ। तपाईले यहाँ एउटा पिक्चर पनि देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ। जस्तै लाइफ प्रोसेसमा के भयो, न्यूट्रिसन, रिप्रोडक्सन, एक्सक्रिसन, ग्रोथ, मुभमेन्ट, रेस्पिरेसन, सेन्सिटिभिटी। यी सबै कुराले गर्दा के हुन्छ, एउटा जीव जीवित रहन सक्छ, अथवा कुनै पनि जीवलाई जीवित रहनको लागि यी सबै कुराहरू गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। अब अर्को हेर्नु, यहाँ लाइफ प्रोसेसलाई सम्झिने तरिका, मिस तपाईले के सम्झिनु, मिस ग्रीन, GREN, ग्रीन भनेर सम्झिनु भनेपछि यहाँ यामले के रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्छ, मुभमेन्ट। अल लिभिङ थिङ मुभ, इभन प्लान्ट अल्सो मुभ। रेस्पिरेसन, रेस्पिरेसन भनेर श्वास प्रश्वास। रेस्पिरेसन प्रोसेसमा के पनि हुन्छ, फुडलाई ब्रेक डाउन गरेर त्यसबाट एनर्जी पनि प्रोड्युस हुन्छ। सेन्सिटिभिटी, डिटेक्टिङ द चेन्ज इन द सराउन्डिङ, वातावरणमा भएको परिवर्तनहरूलाई के गर्नु, थाहा पाउनु, त्यसलाई के गर्नु, वातावरणमा भएको परिवर्तनमा के गर्नु, प्रतिक्रिया जनाउनु सक्ने क्षमता केसमा हुन्छ, कुनै पनि लिभिङ अर्गानिजममा हुन्छ। यदि हामीमा यो क्षमता नभएको भए हामीले हाम्रो वरिपरि भएको चेन्जेसहरूलाई फिल गर्न सक्ने थिएन। फिल गरेर त हामीलाई यो ठाउँ राम्रो हुन्छ, यो ठाउँ नराम्रो हुन्छ, यसले हामीलाई असर गर्छ भन्ने कुरा हामीले थाहा पाउन सक्छौँ। त्यही भएर सेन्सिटिभिटी पनि एउटा के हो, लाइफ प्रोसेस हो। ग्रोथ, अल लिभिङ थिङ ग्रोथ पनि के हो, नेसेसरी थिङ हो। अब यदि हामी नबढेको भए, सानै भएको भए हामीले अहिले आफै खान पनि सक्ने थिएनौँ। त्यही भएर ग्रोथ पनि के हो, इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट हो लाइफ प्रोसेसको। रिप्रोडक्सन, मेकिङ मोर लिभिङ थिङ अफ द सेम टाइप। यदि रिप्रोडक्सन भएन भने त्यसपछिको भावी सन्ततिहरू उत्पादन हुँदैनन्। त्यही भएर रिप्रोडक्सन के छ, धेरै इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ। रिप्रोडक्सन नभएपछि त अब नम्बर अफ पिपुल विल बी सेम, अथवा नम्बर अफ द्याट एनिमल्स or living organism will be same if they don't reproduce, and one day that number will be vanished, because without reproduction the generation cannot continue. तिनीहरूले नयाँ रिप्रोडक्सन नगरिसकेपछि नयाँ पुस्ताहरू जन्मिँदैनन्। नयाँ पुस्ता नजन्मिसकेपछि के हुन्छ, त्यो पुरानो पुस्ता के हुन्छ, एक दिन समाप्त भएर जान्छ, अनि तिनीहरूको अस्तित्व नै रहँदैन। त्यही भएर रिप्रोडक्सन के छ, धेरै इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ। एक्सक्रिसन भनेको गेटिङ रिड अफ वेस्ट मेटेरियल्स भनेको शरीरमा उत्पादन भएको जब हामीले खाना लिन्छौँ नि खाना खाइसकेपछि के हुन्छ खानामा भएको सबै कुरा हामीलाई चाहिँदैन ओके हामीले खाने खानाको सबै कुरा हाम्रो शरीरलाई चाहिँदैन त्यही भएर त्यो नचाहिने कुराहरू हाम्रो खानाबाट नचाहिने कुराहरूलाई हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो हाम्रो शरीरबाट बाहिर फाल्नु पर्यो त्यो प्रोसेसलाई हामीले के भनिन्छ एक्सक्रिसन यदि सबै फोहोरहरू हामीले खाएको खानामध्ये अनवान्टेड थिङहरू पनि हाम्रो शरीरमा जम्मा भयो भने हाम्रो शरीरले राम्रोसित काम गर्न सक्दैन त्यही भएर एक्सक्रिसन पनि के एउटा लाइफ प्रोसेस हो यसले पनि के गर्छ कुनै पनि जीवलाई राम्रोसित जीवित रहनको लागि मद्दत गर्दछ अनि न्युट्रिसन भनेको त खाना भयो पोषण तत्त्व भयो taking in and using the food so all these activities all these processes help to keep a living organism alive so that is known as life process it helps to maintain the life of an organism so it is known as the life processes all those activities which are necessary for the survival of a living organism and as well as their development and growth that is known as life process all those activities. Now, here we will discuss about nutrition only in our level. And your nutrition, we know that nutrition is related with the food. You can see all living beings need food to live. They need food to grow, to get energy, to repair their bodies, and to keep them healthy. Here you have to put comma, okay? To get energy, comma, to repair their bodies and to keep them healthy. That is the importance of food. Different organisms have different pattern of taking food. The pattern of taking food is called mode of nutrition. The pattern of taking the food is called mode of nutrition. And there are two types of mode of nutrition. There are autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. You can see here one picture which clearly tells the importance of food. You can see here food is regarded as a medicine. Food is regarded as a medicine. And you have to know, if you don't take a food as a medicine, you have to take medicine as a food. भन्नुको मतलब के हो भनेको यदि तपाईले खानालाई पनि औषधिको रूपमा लिनुभयो भने यसले तपाईले राम्रो गर्छ तर अहिले खानालाई केयरलेस गर्नुभयो अनहेल्दी फुड मात्रै कन्ज्युम गर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ तपाईले खानाको साट्टोमा के खानुपर्छ खाना खाने मात्रा जस्तो हुन्छ नि त्यति मात्रामा के खानुपर्छ तपाईले औषधि खानुपर्छ भन्नु खोजेको यहाँसम्म तपाईले बुझ्नु भयो होला we have to take food as a medicine otherwise we have to take medicine as a food अहिले नै हामीले खानालाई राम्रो औषधिको रूपमा लियौ प्रोपर टाइमिङमा खायौ प्रोपर एमाउन्टमा खायौ भने हामीलाई त्यसले मेडिसिनको रूपमा काम गर्छ भन्नुको मतलब यसले राम्रो काम गर्छ यदि हामीले अहिले खानालाई केयरलेस गर्यौ जंक फुडहरु मात्रै बढी कन्ज्युम गर्यो भने पछि हामीले औषधि खानुपर्छ औषधि पनि लार्ज एमाउन्टमा खानुपर्छ त्यही भएर if we have to take food as a medicine otherwise we have to take medicine as our food. Next one, now here is autotrophs and heterotrophs. There are two mode of nutrition. Nutrition means the way in which we get the food, in which we obtain the food. That process is known as nutrition. And there are two modes of obtaining the nutrition. One is autotrophic mode of nutrition, another one is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And those organisms which have autotrophic mode of nutrition, they are known as autotrophs. And those organisms which have heterotrophic mode of nutrition, they are known as heterotrophs. Autotrophs means they can make their own food, and heterotrophs means they cannot make their own food. They consume the food made by autotrophs. They consume the food made by the autotrophs. All green plant are autotrophs. All green plant are autotrophs. They convert the simple inorganic substance. They convert the simple inorganic substance, that is carbon dioxide and water, into glucose in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. In presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll means the green pigment. But heterotrophs, they cannot make their own food. They depend upon autotrophs for their food. Now, autotrophic nutrition, autotrophic mode of nutrition. The way of nutrition in which an organism makes its own food is known as autotrophic nutrition. The green plant which can prepare their food are called autotrophs. You can see in this picture also here, green plant are autotrophs. Why they are autotrophs? Because they have autotrophic mode of nutrition. They have autotrophic mode of nutrition. They use simple inorganic substance. Simple inorganic substance. Inorganic substance means they are not related with the living organism. Inorganic substance. They use carbon dioxide and water. They use carbon dioxide and water, and when the chlorophyll trap the sunlight, it use the energy to break down the carbon dioxide and water to make glucose. Glucose is the food prepared by the green plant, and during that period it also release oxygen as the waste product. You can see clearly in this picture also. And leaf is the kitchen house of the plant. And during that photosynthesis process, oxygen is produced as a waste material, so it throw out the oxygen during the photosynthesis process. And you know this equation of photosynthesis: carbon dioxide plus water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gives glucose plus oxygen. Glucose is a simple form of sugar. Now heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which the organism cannot primarily prepare food is called heterotrophic nutrition. Non-green plant and all animals are heterotrophs. All non-green plant and all animals are heterotrophs. There are three types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They are saprophytic nutrition, parasitic nutrition, and holozoic nutrition. There are three types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Number one is saprophytic or saprotrophic nutrition. Another one is parasitic nutrition, and third one is holozoic nutrition. Now, saprotrophic or saprophytic nutrition. That's a word saprophytic is derived from the Greek word sapro. Sapro means rotten, and phytic means nutrition. So those organisms which get the nutrition from the rotten thing, rotten means decay thing, they are known as saprophyte, and the process of obtaining the nutrition from such process, that is known as saprophytic mode of nutrition. Okay, organism which obtain their nutrition from dead and decaying plant and animals or organic matter. Organic matter means related with the living organism. Product related with the living organism are called saprophytes. Those organisms which obtain their nutrition from the dead and decaying plants, animals, or organic matter are called saprophytes. Meet the projivi. Okay. They digest the food externally before absorbing the nutrition. They digest the food externally means they throw out the enzymes. They throw out the enzymes outside of their body, and they break down that organic matter into simple form, and it absorbs the nutrient from that dead or decay materials. An example of saprophytes are fungi like mushroom, toadstool, yeast, and some bacteria are example of saprophytes. They are example of saprophytes. Remember, main thing is you have to remember here, they split. Okay, they split the enzymes outside of their body, and they break down that organic matter, and they absorb the nutrient. And especially they have to decompose. Okay, decompose the living organism and recycle the nutrient in the nature, like mushroom. Okay, they grow on that dead bodies of that plant or other living organism. Here you can see mushroom. Mushroom is also a saprophyte. Now parasitic nutrition. The word parasite is derived from the Greek word that para and cytos. Para means alongside, and cytos means grain or food, meaning that they get their food by remaining attached or being along with the some living organism. So parasites are those organisms which suck their food from other living organism. They suck their food from other living organism. The organisms from which the parasite get their nutrition are called host organism. Host organism means those organisms from which the parasite get their food. Example like mosquito, louse, bedbug, tapeworm, ascaris, they are example of parasites, or they have the parasitic mode of nutrition. Meaning that they get their food from other living organism. And remember one thing, that these saprophytes and these parasitic parasitic mode of nutrition organism, they don't have proper digestive system. They don't have proper digestive system. That's why saprophyte throughout that split out that enzymes outside of their body, and they break down that body and they absorb the nutrient. Whereas this parasite suck the nutrient from the host, which is digested by the host, that food or nutrient is absorbed by the parasite. They also don't have proper digestive system. And beside animals, plant are also parasite, like Coscuta. You may see this type of plant. Yes, this is used to cure the jaundice. And albugo, they all are parasites. Okay, they are parasitic plant. Now, holozoic nutrition. The organisms that feed on whole body of plant or animals or both are called holozoic organism. This mode of nutrition is called holozoic nutrition. Holo means all. Okay, they can eat all parts of the living organism. And here one important thing is they digest the food inside the body. They have good digestive system. They digest the food inside the body. They have good digestive system. Holozoic nutrition include 4 different processes like ingestion. Ingestion means taking in the food. Digestion means that breaking down of the food. And assimilation means absorption of the food particle. And ejection means throwing out the waste material from the body. So from here you can clearly understand they have complete digestive system. Or they have good digestive system. Most of the animals except saprophytes and parasites are holozoic organisms. And holozoic organism can be divided into herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Now herbivores you can see here. Herbi means related with the plant and vorous means eating. So when you combine these two words, it be plant eating. So those animals which feed only on plants are called herbivorous animal. These animals eat different parts of the plant. As you can see in this example also, like giraffe, rhinoceros, elephant, rabbit, deer, hippopotamus, cow, panda, buffalo, horse, they all are example of herbivorous animal. Herbivorous mean plant eating animal. Now carnivorous animal, carni means flesh eating, and carni means meat or flesh, vorous means eating. So those animals which only eat flesh of other animals are called carnivorous animal, like lion, tiger, yes, hyena, vulture, snake, crocodile, lizard, they all are carnivorous animals. The last one, omnivorous animal. Omni means all means basically heterotrophs have obtain their food from two sources. One is from other animals and another one is plant. So they can eat both plant and animals. Vorous means eating here. Those animals which can eat both plant and flesh of other animals are called omnivorous animal. Like you can see here, hen can eat that grain as well as it can eat earthworm. Bear is also omnivorous. We human being, yes, this plate is of human being. Human being are also omnivorous. Crow, dog, cat, they all are omnivorous animal.